Thank you very much for your warm reception. Respected Rajmata ji, my colleague and co-speakers on the dais, so I'm very eager to listen to you. And Swamiji, Jayesh Bhai, I really thank you. I really thank you for inviting me here to Vadodara at the pre-parliament event, Parliament of Religions, and I'm also very thankful for the Ramakrishna mission. I'm glad to be involved in Parliament's Women's Task Force to support women's leadership and ensure that women's voices are heard when it comes to global debates on dignity, human rights, religion, and spirituality. So I do believe that religion has the power to guide us, give us hope, and make us feel strong. It gives us a sense of identity, and not least in India, where our diverse religions and traditions form the backbone of our shared culture. We are home to all major religions, who all share a collective history on the same land. We are proud of our multicultural society and what we call Bahuda. So Bahuda is at the center of what makes us who we are. Social diversity, we have social diversity, we have political diversity, religious diversity, biological diversity, and economic diversity. This does not mean that we have been without religious tensions, of course, but it could and should offer a clue for fostering a spirit of tolerance and mutual respect. Okay? Divisions in our world are deep and myriad. One of them is of haves and have-nots. Today, we are over 800 million people in the world living in extreme poverty. That is it means that over 800 million people who exist outside of mainstream society. And it is known that women are more likely to suffer poverty than men. So at its best, the moral power within religion and the importance of its institutions throughout our society means it can play a leading role in alleviating poverty and including the marginalized. My own organization, SEWA, that is Self-Employed Women's Association, having 2 million membership, so consists of approximately 1/3 of Muslim members and 1/3 of Dalit, and most of the rest are underprivileged groups of the society. But we never say minorities. We all are equally poor. We are thus very well aware of how social and religious tensions affect the poorest communities, particularly, and the people the most. When there is any disturbance amongst the citizens, they affect our members the most. Then we work on rehabilitation and on education. However, I must admit that such tensions in many respects have made our organizations stronger. The members have been able to come more closer. They care for each other. There is more mutual helping and greater concerns and greater assimilations. among our members and the neighboring communities. That is, I call, feminine way of dealing with issues. My own background is a Hindu one, and my activism is very much framed within the context of karma. Karma as meaning action. I am not the type who is particularly focused on the theology and stories or thinking too much about things. If I see a problem, something has to be done about it, and we try to do it. I am basically an organizer, ready to go in the street, and that has been as long as I remember. I believe that those who are weak have to come together, have to get together and find ways to influence decision makers and places of power. But that something has to be organized around solid values. Without the foundation of values, life is of no use. There is no happiness. In my case, Gandhiji shows the way. Gandhian thinking has been a guiding force in my life. What he has to say is so basic, so simple. People who hear it can say that they already know it. His thoughts are as old as hills, as old as the hills around, as he said. There is nothing new, easily understood by me and you, by poor and rich, by rural and urban, educated and the illiterate. The values are the very human values Gandhiji talks about. In today's world, these human values can get lost as religion blurs and mutates into a strange form of nationalism. But this is not nationalism as a form of mere pride of one's country. But it's a tool to spread sectarian hate and divide the society. This is clear in conflicts both here in Asia and across the globe. In the times of conflicts, we have seen women intentionally targeted and then poverty then spreads. The miseries spread, and that creates all the more and all the deeper rift between the haves and the have-nots. And so I'm particularly talking about poverty because I believe that poverty is not God-given. Poverty is a kind of, poverty is violence being done with consent of the society. So I'm talking of that poverty. So no one is born poor. Society makes one poor. All religions ask us to serve the poor. To serve the poor, the needy and the weak. A religion is being confused with traditions which serve to bind societies together. Traditions are man-made. If we learn they are harmful, we should be able to change them. If we take a look at the fundamentals of religion, it is not a tool to oppress. Extremist groups are using mutant ideologies to gather the support of those on the edge of society. This is far from what religion was intended to do. Religion should be bringing positivity and hope into the lives of the most marginalized by making them visible, not spread fear and tyranny. To quote Nelson Mandela, a guiding moral light and founder of the Elders, the group of independent global leaders working together for human rights, of which I am proud to be a member. So Nelson Mandela said that no one is born hating another person. because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion. Love comes more naturally to the human heart than its opposite. The shared community of religion can allow women to come together and act as one. In this regard, it is similar in my experience to trade unions. My union, SEWA, was set up in 1972. Now it stands a women's only trade union with over 1.8 million members at the end of the year 2014. These are women from different parts of India, different backgrounds and different trades. Our goal was to make these women come together and help themselves. A fundamental role of religion is that it brings people together in a way many other organizations cannot. Religion is the largest example of what people can achieve when they come together. And this is why it is so important that religions should treat all their followers with equal respect. My generation has been greatly influenced by Gandhiji, as I said, and we all had one purpose: to rebuild the nation, to rebuild after Indian independence. Gandhi's ultimate goal was not solely political independence. It was to win Swaraj. Swaraj is the pursuit of self-reliance and freedom. But Swaraj or freedom cannot be given, it is generated within oneself. Empowerment is not a thing that can be given or taken back. Let women be engaged to do things and to solve a problem, to deal with the issue and to mobilize, so that when they do things, they are empowered. And when they do things collectively, then they are all the more empowered. The importance of peace and empowerment alike, the importance of peace and empowerment alike is that it is not out there, it is within us. So any positive, constructive act of love and care builds peace, and when millions take these actions, peace spreads and prosperity also follows. Now this is nothing new that I am saying. This is as old as Gandhi, as old as Christ or Buddha. This is in our heart. A human begins his or her own life seeking love, truth, trust, a kind touch, which is very normal. The Bhagavad Gita states that liberation is achieved through karma, as I said. Karma means action. Karma means work. Work is central to human life. Even God works. So karma or call it work, is central to human life and as fundamental as truth and love. By work, I do not mean sweatshops and cheap labor, which are forms of exploitation. Work to me is better understood as livelihood. Livelihood evokes the language of a biomass and informal economy, people's economy. In this context, a woman is a worker, but not only a worker. Woman is a provider, a caretaker, an educator, a networker, a conserver. She is a forger of bonds. She is a creator and preserver. She wants stability in the society all around. She wants stability for holding the roots for her children. And that is why I consider I consider women's participation and representation an integral part of the development process. Not only development process, but in the peace building process as well. Women will bring constructive, creative and sustainable solutions to the world. I have great faith in the feminine way of transformation of the world. When I say feminine way, I don't mean only women. We should also honor the feminine within men as well. So it will be a long thing, but so I hope that I'm clear to express it in a short phrase, which is a feminine way. This process of empowerment is, in my view, closely intertwined with the journey of personal development within religious traditions. This is why it is so important that women can contribute to religious life. Through all my work and experiences, I have come to believe that building an equitable, sustainable and peaceful world lies in our sense of connectedness. In conclusion, I would like to say something like this, that I am not alone in this world. You are bound to me and I am to you. I am also bound to the people in my community, and my community is bound to me. My community is linked to each neighboring community, and together we form the world. Like oceanic circles, we are all interlinked. You and I, our communities, our faiths, our traditions, and the lands we share are mutually related, making us all offspring of the Mother Earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Elaben. That was